Gosh, what a way to end it, eh? Okay, we're busting out the gameplay here because I feel like it would be kind of dumb to just go out there with the stats in the background for this kind of video, because today we're talking about the Red Wings and the Ottawa Senators, Game 1 of the, what is it called, the global series of games that the NHL is doing this year. Yeah, they're playing in Sweden. The game started really early. You had a bunch of Swedish fans out there. It was awesome to see the environment of this setup. And my questions of whether or not the Swedish ice would actually be used were answered, because you could see clearly that they actually cut down the rink size to accommodate the NHL's regular rink measurements. So there you go, quick aside on that little thing right there. But the Red Wings end up dropping this game 5-4 in overtime. And this is one of those situations where after you watch how the game went in the first half, you watch how the game went in the second half, and then you watch how the game went in overtime, it becomes a lot more muddy as to how good this Red Wings team actually is. Something is wrong here, and I feel like this kind of game was the epitome of that sentiment. Now, I'm not going to say that they're terrible or they're bad or whatever. I'm just going to say that they're really inconsistent, to the point that it's definitely hurting so many of the players' stock and the morale, most likely, just the overall performance of the team. But hey, the Red Wings escape with a point in this one. Ottawa, of course, gets the winner in OT, with probably, maybe the most impressive overtime winner goal we've seen in a while. Not because of any fancy dangles, not because of any boom one-time slap shots, but because of the absolute baseball swing of a shot that Timmy Stu ends up executing here. But if you watch this game, which most of us were not able to do, admittedly, for some reason this wasn't available on most of the mainstream NHL streaming services. For some reason this was blacked out, but via other means, most of us were able to find some way to watch this game or another. Cough, cough, not gonna mention anything more beyond that. But this game starts out with Ottawa taking a commanding 4-0 lead. Brady Tkachuk gets 2 goals, Jake Sanderson and Josh Norris then follow up afterwards. Within the first 22 minutes of the game, it is 4-0 Ottawa. And this is what we're talking about. The Red Wings just have this odd ability to completely disappoint at certain moments throughout games. And the first 20 minutes was not it. You could talk about the pairings all you want. Everybody's talking about Petrie and Sherratt. Hey, throwback to Montreal when those guys were Stanley Cup finalists. They're not playing like that anymore. And it's only been 2 years removed. But the Red Wings go down 4-0. A lot of pretty good chances, a lot of great shots by the Senators to get themselves on the board. Of course, we all recognize that there were power play chances in there. Brady Tkachuk gets everything started on the man advantage after all. But even on that play, you talk about the Wings and how they were trying to defend, how they just completely collapse away from the puck. They can't really defend the rush properly. They're taking penalties and still allowing goals on these chances. It was not a great first 20 minutes for the Red Wings. Of course, you cannot say that a 4-0 deficit is good. But this is where the Wings start to show off that they still have talent, and they have life. Because all it takes is a second period stint of about, 8 minutes or so? For the Red Wings to go from down 4-0 to legitimately tying the game up 4-4. Sweden comes alive when Lucas Raymond is the first Red Wings goal scorer. Of course, they love him over there. Why wouldn't they? We love him over here too in North America. But he steals the puck, ends up coming right down, and instead of making the cross-crease pass he elects to shoot on the left wing, beats Korpisalo. It's 4-1. The building comes alive. Just 4 minutes after that, it's my guy, David Perron, who ends up getting a lucky bounce in front to put the Red Wings back within 2. This is a really odd play, where Olimata takes the long drive from the point. It hits David Perron, in the crest. It looks like it hits him maybe somewhere on his torso, maybe it hit the shaft of his stick, but it pops up, and it goes over everybody, and it plops back into the net there. It's a very weird goal. Definitely not the one that David Perron thought he would be able to score, but he ends up scoring it anyway, so there you go, 4-2. The Wings are within. Then you give it 3 more minutes, and this is where DeBrincat comes to play. He strikes against his former team. After a pretty good steal in the neutral zone by Detroit, they break back into the offensive zone. It's held out on the side there, thrown across, and hey, Shayne Gostisbehere with the pass, DeBrincat with the shot, one-timer, left side, right-handed shot. It's a one-goal game. Then, just 40 seconds later, it is Shayne Gostisbehere who takes a brilliant shot himself and puts the Wings in this game once again. It's a tie game. Gostisbehere receives the puck on the right side, walks right in, throws it to the goal, it takes a weird bounce, and this is all squared up. Have the Red Wings been playing good enough to justify being in a 4-4 tie? Well, you could say yes and no. You could say that because they were so bad in the opening few minutes that they don't deserve to be anywhere near a tie, and you could also say that the bounces that helped Detroit get these goals on the board weren't really attributed to their own skill. But hey, who cares? They're tied, it's 4-4, the third period sees no goals, and then we watch the overtime. I'm gonna be honest, the overtime in this game was sloppy for both sides. The Sens started it off with a 4-on-3 power play, it expired, then we had 3-on-3 after the ensuing whistle. Both of these teams, just the turnovers, the giveaways, like Brady Tkachuk had himself a breakaway opportunity because Larkin completely fumbled a puck movement, and it was bailed out by James Reimer. Okay, good on Optimus Rhyme for making the save there, but Brady Tkachuk had himself that breakaway opportunity. The Wings, we noticed so many of their breakout attempts, like the passes just completely missing their guys. Even in the offensive zone, Detroit was missing passes left, right, and center. There were a few passes that put their players in dangerous positions, like pretty vulnerable positions for the Senators players to almost steal the puck and go on their own odd man rushes. This was just not a good overtime period for both of these teams. Sloppy play, sloppy passing. I don't know if it was the ice in particular, but so many of these decisions made by both of these teams just not good. Maybe I'm too used to watching Vancouver. Haha, sorry, I didn't mean to be that guy, but just when you get so used to Pettersson, Hughes, and Miller, and Kuzmenko and Besser making perfect passes like 95% of the time, it really stands out when you watch a team play in overtime, and like only 60% of the passes from either team are fine. This was not a good overtime period for the Wings, especially towards the end there, when you had Tim Stutzle baseball swing it with 2 seconds to go to give the Sens the dub. The puck is centered by Drake Batherson. There's a sprawling Detroit defenseman who's trying to block the pass, and he gets it. He gets the stick on the puck, but just like that Perron goal earlier, the puck pop flies up into the air, and Tim Stutzle, he notices it, he sees it, the puck is coming right to him, and he baseball swings it right into the back of the net. James Reimer kind of ducks out of the way. He had no idea where the puck was after the centering pass was made. He had no idea it pop flied. So by the time Tim Stutzle shot the puck on goal, Reimer kind of like moved his arm and he ducked. It looked so weird. The Red Wings end up losing this game 5-4 as a result. And, I mean, the results on paper are okay. I think a lot of Red Wings fans are okay with getting the point out of this one, but I don't know, man. Common consensus seems to be that this Wings team is so off. Bunch of penalties in the third period, a Petrie-Sherratt pairing that people don't have any confidence in, Michael Rasmussen missing a bunch of one-timers in overtime, and ultimately the Wings get a point. They get a point in a game where they were down 4-0. Like, what? What is going on? Okay, look, we're not even going to talk about it anymore. The Wings just played a very entertaining game. If you're not a fan of Detroit or of Ottawa and you watch this game, you probably got hella great entertainment value out of this one. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Ottawa Senators blowing a 4-0 lead to the Wings and then winning in overtime. Crazy game for both sides, to be honest, but either way, thoughts in the comments section. What did you like? What did you dislike? Am I being too harsh on my Red Wings? They're my third favorite team, but this is a commentary where I definitely did take my shots against them, so yeah, is that fair for me to criticize this team in this way? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.